In today's recipe, I will show you how to cook one of my favorite sauces, and also one of my favorite secret ingredients that you can pretty much add to any sauce. This recipe is one of my favorite reasons to buy a bottle of wine and treat myself, because I deserve it, you deserve it, we all probably deserve it. Today we are cooking red sauce. Great for any pasta, spaghetti and meatballs, chicken, or eggplant parmesan, and much more. I will be sharing my well-tested recipe and a few secret ingredients that really bring some amazing depth, flavor, umami, and richness. This will be like no other red sauce you've had before. So cheers, let's start cooking. We will start by getting our mise set up, as everything kind of just gets thrown into a pot at the end. But first, we'll reserve about 1 cup of our red wine now, that way we don't accidentally drink it during the prep. Starting with our aromats, we will chop off the top of a bunch of parsley, saving the stems for stock, of course. I keep a freezer bag, well, in my freezer, and I'll put all of those in there. With those stems properly frozen in our freezer bag, we'll go ahead and put the parsley leaves in a bowl. Now we'll go ahead and pick the leaves off of some oregano and thyme, and again, save those stems for stock down the road. You'll thank me later. Not forgetting to tidy up as we go. I'll now toss in the cheese rind, giving it a weird bend strength test for no particular reason. The type of cheese I generally use for these cheese rinds is a hard cheese, like Parmesan or something like that, and about a 3-finger pinch of chili flakes to this bowl. If you don't like spice, feel free to skip this step, but we're making so much that you really won't notice it. Into a new bowl, we'll be adding 2 shallots and about 3 onions, a stalk or 2 of celery, and a few cloves of garlic. Whenever this stuff goes on sale in bulk, I normally buy it up, peel it, and blitz it, and then portion it for easier cooking down the road, and kinda saves me from having garlic fingers for the next 7 to 8 months. And of course, don't forget to stay hydrated. Once we've cleaned up our onion pills and added them to our stock bag, and also cleaned off our knife, we'll begin to cut our onion. Just peel and dice them up. Nothing here needs to be perfect, as it will all get blended up later. This knife is a relatively new addition to my collection, and maybe the most beautiful knife I own, so here are a few moments of me just cutting onions for us to enjoy. Continue the same process with the shallots, eventually adding them to a bowl. So anyway, I could only find basil plants. No stores around me had just leaves for whatever reason. So if you want to keep your plant alive, make sure you don't trim everything off from the plant. I did my best to keep this thing alive, but the sun decided to kill it. Anyway, I generally do about 1/3 or sometimes 2/3 of the plant when I'm cooking. These leaves will just be tossed in with our other aromatics. With all of our prep done, we'll get out a large Dutch oven, preheat it on a medium-high heat, and add to it some oil, just enough to cover the bottom. Once the oil is hot, we'll go ahead and add our bowl of onions, garlics, shallots, and celery. Take a quick break to take a sip of wine, and let the onions and everything cook till sweated just through and starting to get a little bit of color. Don't forget to stir occasionally. Once everything is looking sweated and cooked, we'll go ahead and add in the tomato paste. Giving it a little stir and letting it cook till it just becomes aromatic and some of it starts to cook to the bottom of the pot. Once that's cooked, we'll go ahead and add our wine that will unstickify anything from the bottom of the pot. Make sure to scrape down the bottoms and the sides better than I did here. Once the wine is cooked down and is starting to bubble a little bit, go ahead and add in your whole peeled tomatoes or any substitute that you decide to use. Make sure to mash some of these up as you go. No, it doesn't really matter as we'll blend. I just think it's fun to mash these up. We'll go ahead and add our tomato juice, filling up a little higher than expected. And we're gonna add our aromatics, really pushing the limits of what this pot can hold. And of course, now's a good time to add any frozen leftover tomatoes that you've been hanging on to for the last few months. I have some cherry tomatoes here that we'll just throw in. And make sure to stir everything to combine very, very carefully. We are really filling this up. Oh, and don't forget to add a healthy amount of butter. I'm just using about a stick's worth. Now you could put a lid on it, slightly ajar, and let this simmer for about 1 hour, though you can take it up anywhere as far as 4 hours, or honestly probably further. The longer you cook this, the better the flavors will get. Once you are done struggling to leave the lid ajar, this is a great time to sit back, grab a glass of wine, or enjoy a good book. If anyone's reading any good books, let me know down in the comments. Once it has simmered for the before mentioned time, go ahead and fish out any of the large aromatics or additions such as carrots, cheese rinds. If you happen to throw a bone in there, make sure to pull that out. You don't want to put that through a blender. Don't worry if you can't find all of the cheese rinds or all of the carrots. I normally miss 1 or 2, I'm sure. I like to add a little olive oil while blending. This just kind of helps emulsify everything, and it also changes the color of the red sauce from this deep red to more of like a orangish red. Oh no, I like it. And also make sure to add in anything you forgot, such as this honey and Worcestershire sauce. Now that we actually have everything here, we will do our final seasoning to taste. Just pepper this to your heart's or mouth's content, giving it one more blend to incorporate. We'll go ahead and portion this out now. I have small freezable containers. I just label these and I put enough for 2 portions to 1 portion, kind of depending on what I'm going to be doing over the next few months. Definitely let me know down in the comments what you end up making with this red sauce. I would love to hear about it. And cheers everyone. Thanks for watching.